Hi everyone! As promised, I'm back today to show you another card using one of the designer series paper out of the Sale-A-Bration brochure. But before I got started with this morning, I was looking through the brochure and I was just so sad that this is coming to an end because there are so many beautiful things that can be made using these sets. Look at these cute little darling donkeys. I hope to be using them in the future. So hopefully some of you have earned that so that when I do those cards that you'll be able to make them yourself. But they are just so cute. I just love them. And then we have, oh, this So Ombre paper is just so pretty. I can't wait to start using that. This Approaching Perfection, I think the best stamp in this one I like, it says, if things really do get better with age, then you're approaching perfection. What a great sentiment to use in a birthday card. And then, let's see. Oh, I love the Heal Your Heart. I just love that one because I think those are perfect sentiments for mini cards. So, looking forward to using that one. Here's the paper that I'm going to be focusing on in today's card. But look at all the other things that you can do. I just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I love designer series paper. I guess you'd call me a designer series paper hoarder. And I finally decided that I need to figure out how to get rid of some of this paper. So I will be sharing some of those techniques with you in the near future. But look at this touch of ink. Oh, if you love hummingbirds and butterflies, this is a great set. And I can't wait to use it as well. I haven't used it yet. There's just not enough time. So, oh, and this Berry Blessings. I love the paper. Again, I just love the designer series paper. And Stampin' Up! Has their own designers that actually design these papers and to match the stamp sets. And I watched one of them give a little training on that, on how the process works, and it's amazing. It's just amazing to see how they come up with these papers. So, just gorgeous. And then this one was one that you could win for free if you hosted a party. And so, you know, wasn't one of my favorites, but it has some cute things in there. And then, of course, it's a perfect time to join Stampin' Up! If this is something that you're interested in doing, or not even doing. You don't even have to do what I do. You could just join so that you can get your product at a discount. And we call those people discount shoppers. And who's not ready to get a discount? So it's a great deal, and I think if you're going to be doing a lot of paper crafting, making cards, then this is a great thing to think about doing. So that's something you're interested in, please reach out to me. But so much for reminiscing over the ending of this catalog. But again, I'm sad, but we're going to go ahead and make a card today using one of the papers, and we'll stop the being sad about it. We're going to make something that's happy. So let's get started. So the paper, like I said, I was going to show you. It's this one called Flower and Field. And the colors that complement this, that's another thing I love about Stampin' Up!, is all their colors and inks and papers match. So one of the colors in here was in this paper set was Pool Party, and I just thought that is such a springy color. So I decided I wanted to do Pool Party and the So Saffron paper to match the designer sheet that I'm going to be using. So let's get started. So we're going to start off with the Pool Party card base, and I'm going to have all the dimensions for this card at the end of the video, so you don't need to worry about not having that. So here we've got our card base and Pool Party. Then I went ahead and embossed. Oh, I just love this new embossing folder that's in the mini catalog. And it is called Painted Texture. And the reason why I chose Painted Texture is because the designer series paper really has that look of hand painted. It kind of reminds me of when you go to those paint and sip classes, how you paint designs. And this paper kind of reminded me of that because it's so whimsical, the painting of it. And I thought, well, what a great card to use using this Painted Textures embossing folder. I just love it. It looks like somebody has spackled paint or texture, you know, like over a wall. And so I fell in love with that embossing folder. And so this is what it looks like when you run it through. Hopefully you can see that when you run it through with that embossing folder. Just love it. It's just got such a great look. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to my card front. And I just want to let you know that whenever you're adhering anything that you've embossed, it's really important that you put either a lot of adhesive or use a liquid glue, because there's just something about the embossing that, you know, that the adhesive, regular roll-on adhesive doesn't get in all the crevices. So here's going to be the hard part. What side do I want to put out? So I'm going to, because both sides are just gorgeous. You just hate to hide any of them. So I'm going to use liquid glue for this. And I'm going to make sure I get it on the edges really good. And you don't want too much because you don't want it to ooze out. But so we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our card front. And the other good thing about the liquid glue is you have time to move it around. So you don't have to worry about getting it exactly right. You have time to, a little wiggle room with the liquid glue. So I noticed that with this embossing folder that the edges tend to want to pop up. So one thing you can do is take one of the larger clear box and put that on top of that so that it'll push down that glue and really adhere. And then you can kind of set that aside while you work on the rest of your card. So next, and this is a funny story. So I wanted to put this designer series paper on this So Saffron cardstock like this, and that's how I was going to mount it on the card. And then when I went to go, I used glue, and when I went to go put it on there, it got kind of tilted, and I was like, ooh, I kind of like this. So I decided that I'm going to tilt this instead of putting it even. So I'm going to go ahead and instead of using the liquid glue, I'm going to use just the tape runner. And I have what Stampin' Up! Used to sell. They don't sell this one anymore. They sell a different one. But I had this handy, so we're going to use this one today. And I do like the new ones because they are stronger, so you don't tend to need to use as much. With this one, I wanted to make sure it stood on there, so I like to put a little extra. So what I'm going to do is just kind of put this at an angle, just finding a nice little tilt that I like, and go ahead and, you know, put that down. There we go. So now I want to adhere this to my card front. So I think and here again, because I'm going to be putting it on an embossed area, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the liquid glue so that I know that for sure it is going to stick. So let's go ahead and put some glue on this piece. There's just a little bit here where those edges of that designer paper is hanging out. And So now, to put this on the card front, I decided that I wanted the designer paper to be straight. So that's what'll make you be able to put it on there, to decide how you want to put it on there. So I'm going to go ahead and make the designer series straight on the card front, and then the designer paper, I'm sorry, and then you have that cute little look. I just love it. So go ahead and put that down. Again, I'm going to put the block on there so that I make sure that it adheres nicely, and set that aside while I continue on. So now we want to work on our sentiment. And I'm loving this double oval punch, although it's very popular, and I have to go back out and look to see. I don't know if it's orderable right now or if it's just on back order, but it is popular. I know that it had it was on one of those lists. So I'm going to go ahead and punch out the decorative edge in the So Saffron to match my cardstock that I just put on the card front. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment. And the sentiment I'm going to use, because I just think this paper is just so pretty. It just reminded me of spring and sun, and I don't know if you've been following me on my personal page, but every day I've been putting the countdown to when we change our clocks, because I just love having more sunlight in the evenings. I don't like that it gets dark so early, so I am looking forward to that day. So this paper just reminded me of sun and spring and just all the things that I enjoy. So I decided to use this stamp set called Under My Umbrella, and I'm going to go ahead and use this Hello Sunshine, because I think this card reminds me of someone that has a lot of sunshine in their life and just radiates that glow about them. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. So let's go ahead and grab a piece of basic white scrap paper. I had stamped this one the other day and I didn't like it, so I'm just going to ignore that. So, but we're going to use the rest of this scrap. No need to waste what we have left here. And we're going to open up our ink pad, and I'm using the Just Jade. Even though the card base that I did was Pool Party, this designer paper has Just Jade in it, and I thought, well, I like the darker color for my sentiments. So let's go ahead and ink up our Hello Sunshine sentiment in Just Jade, and we're going to go ahead and stamp that on our scrap piece of basic white cardstock. Get that nice even pressure, and close up our ink pad. And let's go ahead and punch this out with the double oval punch. And hopefully that's dry enough. I kind of like to rub it to make sure that it's dry so that I don't smudge it when I'm putting it in the punch. So now we just got to line this up with the bottom here of the oval punch. Find where you like it and then punch it out. So there we go. We've got that taken care of. Now let's go ahead and adhere that to what we punched out with the decorative punched out oval. Now here again, I like to use the liquid glue so that I have some wiggle room to get it aligned the way I want it. So even though I'm not a big fan of liquid glue because I tend to get it all over my fingers, and then when my fingers get sticky, then I get frustrated. So, but it does have a place in the craft room. So there we go. I like that. So got that adhered. Now let's bring our card front back in, and let's go ahead and adhere this to the front of the card. But I want this popped up, so I'm going to be using the Stampin' Dimensionals. I just love to add some different layers. Just adds texture to the card that I love. So let's go ahead and add that to the top of our card, because I want to make sure that we're showing off this paper, because that's what's so beautiful, is the paper. So there we go. We got that adhered. So now our card is pretty much done, except, of course, a little embellishment would really make it pop more. So we're going to go back to, let's see, what are these called? These are called the 2020-2022 in color enamel dots. And one of them, these match the in colors, so Just Jade is one of the in colors. So we're going to go ahead and take your pick tool to pick these up, and maybe I just struggle with this part. Maybe I'll use the other end. And there we go. And then you can just place them wherever you want. And I think I want to put one up here on the yellow, the So Saffron yellow. I want to put one on one of the flowers on the paper. So let's do the middle of this yellow one. That would be cute. And then let's take one more. I like to do everything in odd numbers when it comes to my these types of embellishments. Let's see, where do I want to put this? I think let's put one on the actual pool party. So let's put one down here. So there you go. We have 3 enamel dots on the card, and there's the card. And so the only thing I have left to do, and I'm not going to do that here, but I like to take a piece of white cardstock and put it on the inside. And sometimes I like to stamp an image or put a piece of the designer series paper at the bottom. And then there you have it. A beautiful card. And it was not that hard to do. Very simple and easy, but yet beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed it. And just remember that if you want to earn this paper, you need to put in a $50 order by the end of before the end of tomorrow night, and then you need to select this paper or anything else in the Sale-A-Bration catalog. So with every $50 order, you can pick one of the sets. Now there are 2 sets, or the papers. There are 2 sets in here that require you to put in a $100 order in order to get it. And let me see. One of them is this set, the A Touch of Ink. That needs a $100 order in order to earn that one for free. And then the other one is this bundle here, the Berry Blessings stamp set with the paper. And that has to be, it's free with a $100 purchase. So hope you enjoyed that, and hope you guys have a great weekend. And I will be hopefully back soon. I have some other things I want to share with you about what my focus is going to be for March. So I hope to see you soon. Bye.